Good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. It's a Monday morning, September 20th. And it's a bit chilly out here this morning. It's only 52 on my phone. But, coming off of summer, it feels pretty cold. Sally Crocker, good morning. Welcome, everybody, on this Monday morning. Last night, our dog disrupted our sleep quite a bit because there was a raccoon in our yard. Wendy Chadwick, good morning. Barbara Whitney, good to see you. Janisa. So he treed this raccoon in our blue spruce. Jim and Kathy Fuente, good morning. Jonathan, good to see you. There's my mom, good morning. And so every time that raccoon tried to get out of our yard, the dog would chase him right back up the tree. Debbie, good morning. Mike and Joe Stromberg, welcome. Carmen, good to see you this morning. Monday's always a good start to the week with regard to this live stream, because it feels like you guys are all ready to roll and you're jumping right into the live stream. Dana Kreshock, good morning. So when I left this morning, and now it's obviously light out, I think that raccoon would have preferred to have left during the night. I don't know what it's going to do. Maybe it's going to stay in that tree all day. We'll see. Michael Johnson, good morning, brother. Deanne Fine, welcome. We are in Proverbs chapter 20 today. And it's so fun reading the Proverbs. I haven't been in the Proverbs regularly for some years. So Karen Perry, good morning to you. Good to see you. And I know that the boys start school today. Let's see, it's 2 hours different, 7, 8, 9. So they're probably already on their way. And first day of school today. Welcome this morning. Wendy Chadwick, good morning. Despina McClanahan, good to see you this morning. So many faces this morning. So great. So Proverbs chapter 20, we're well into the Proverbs where there's just every proverb, every verse really is its own standalone proverb. So you're like, where do I start? Where do I end? And the big bit of advice that I always give is just whatever proverb stands out to you, or if there are a series of proverbs that stand out to you, meditate on those. Memorize one. Apply it to your life's situation. And teach them to your children, to your grandchildren, right? To your nieces, to your nephews. These proverbs are God's gifts to us to navigate life. So this morning, as I was looking at Proverbs chapter 20, two things came to my mind as I was trying to meditate on them for today. And that was that there were two different qualities of Proverbs that seemed to bear out as I read this chapter. And one was that quality of wisdom that is deep, profound, mysterious, and it's difficult to understand, and you're trying to draw it out and so on. And then there's the conventional type of proverb, conventional wisdom, that is easily understood, that is a part of our life that's very predictable, and God is set up. God is the one who orders the world. He is the one who created it all. He created the rules. He created the right and the wrong. And if we abide by his rules, and he just freely gives us all this counsel through the Proverbs, if you live by that conventional wisdom, it's just going to go well for you in general. Obviously life isn't that predictable, but it's predictable enough where if you live by the Proverbs, it's just going to go better. Your life is you're going to succeed more often. You're going to end up over a period of time, a long period of time, in a much better off position than if you were to ignore the Proverbs or to do exactly opposite of what the Proverbs are telling you. So let me give you just a few examples just from this chapter. So here's the proverb that is of the quality of the deep mysteries of life. Here I wrote down 4 of them from today's chapter. This is verse 5. The purpose of a man's heart is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. So this is an example of the deeper, mysterious wisdom. The purpose of a man's heart. It's like, how do you know what's in a man's heart? How do we even know what's in our own heart, our own motives? Because this has the idea of being self-aware. That you're very aware of your own character, your own limits, your strengths, your weaknesses. It takes discernment to understand that, and to understand it in someone else takes that much more discernment. Purpose of a man's heart is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Let me read another one. Verse 12. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord has made them both. What does this proverb mean? It just takes a little more the mystery side of Proverbs to even understand what the proverb writer is talking about. Right? It's not apparent at the surface level. But if you just take a little bit deeper, you understand, well, at least that how I interpret this proverb is the hearing ear and the seeing eye has to do with a deeper understanding. If I have eyes and they work, I can see. If I have ears and they work, I can hear stuff. That's not what the proverb writer is talking about. He's talking about perception. Jesus, often said, he who has eyes to see and ears to hear, you're going to understand the things I'm telling you. So he's making a qualitative difference between someone who really does understand and puts his faith in Jesus and one who is like, I don't think so. I'm not going to believe in Jesus. They ignore all of the facts. They ignore all of the things that Jesus is doing and saying. They're self-deceived and they blind their own eyes and so on. This was the problem of the Pharisees and so on who rejected Jesus, right? So he says the source of this hearing ear and the seeing eye, this is the proverb writer, the Lord has made them both. So God is at the source of these things. If we're having trouble perceiving the deep well of water that is the man's heart, we've already read that proverb, who do we go to? How do we really get deep and understand this? You have to go to the Lord who knows all things. And if we're really seeking him, he will guide our steps, right? Speaking of steps, here's another proverb, verse 24. A man's steps are from the Lord. So he guides our journey of life. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't even know what's going to happen today. I have a plan for today, but I could receive a phone call. I could, some circumstance may happen that changes those plans. Only God knows my actual steps for the day. And so the proverb writers, the man's steps are from the Lord. How can a man understand his way? At the surface value, you're saying, well, I don't know what's going to happen today, so, I don't know what to do. Or we can see that the Lord's, our steps are from the Lord, and so we can trust him. We can seek him. How do I understand how my life is actually going? The actual things that happen, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, the losses, the gains. How do I interpret it all? I have to interpret through the eyes God gives me, the ears God gives me to perceive the deeper things that are happening so I can understand grief, loss. I can move slowly through them, allowing God to guide my steps so that I can discern more deeply what's happening in my life. These are the deep proverbs. These are the mysterious aspects of wisdom. One more, verse 27. The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord. Okay, so again, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The Lord sees the spirit of man, and it's his lamp, like a flashlight, searching around inside of us, searching all his innermost parts. So these are examples of proverbs, or the type of wisdom that really require us to slow down, to give deep and long thought, to really understand the deep ways of God, how to really interpret what's happening in our life. And sometimes something bad happens and we think, God, why would you do that to me? or something good happens, we say, well, that's great. I made these choices and that good thing happened. God who is in control of all of these things. We can discern deeper ways of our own heart motives and interpret things that will cause us to be wise people, have deep understanding, who are slow in their approach to life, and we glean a deeper level. This is available to all of us, but we have to slow down and meditate and discern these things at a slow pace, a deeper level. It's kind of shrouded a bit, and we must trust God over periods of time to really get at some of the deeper rooted things in our heart. That's one kind of wisdom. And so we have to be patient. We allow time to pass. We allow years really to pass we get little bits of information about our own heart, about our life circumstance, that when we put them together over periods of years, some of this wisdom is hard-earned wisdom. We glean from them. And in this chapter is also a proverb. I think it just came to mind. I didn't write it down in my journal, but I can't remember what verse it is in this chapter, but it says, strength is the glory of a young man, but gray hair is the glory of an old man. Thank you for that observation. That's really wise of you to tell me that a young man's strong and an old man has gray hair. Where's the wisdom in that? But if you're wise and you're discerning, you will see that God gives us a strong back early in life to do the things we need to do. To grab a hold of the low-hanging fruit of life to glean it all. But we need lots of years to pass when we get gray hair to really understand the deeper things, if we slow down enough to allow God to teach us those things. So that's one kind of wisdom. Then we get to the low-hanging fruit kind of wisdom. This is the wisdom that is just, we can apply it today, every day, and it's just going to go well for us if we do this. I love these verses in this chapter, and every chapter of Proverbs has a ton of these. And these are the ones that children can understand. You give them to your kids. You repeat them over and over. You abide by them yourself. You live by them. And if you just do it, because God created the world, He created the right and the wrong, how things work, He sustains all things. If you just abide by these bits of wisdom all your days, it's just going to generally go better for you. For example, very first verse, Proverbs 20, verse 1, avoid being drunk. Don't let wine and strong drink master you. It's not going to go well for you. You're going to make dumb decisions when you're inebriated. So it's not that wine or strong drink is wrong in and of itself, but if you let it be your master, if you let your decisions be made through that, we just know this in every rule, any movie or story or person's life that we know. Right, conventional wisdom. Don't get drunk all the time. It's not going to go well for you. You're not going to live a highly successful life. Verse 4, work hard. The sluggard who doesn't go out and plow his field in the autumn will not reap harvest in the spring. He will go hungry. So the simple matter is, work hard. In due season, you put in the hard work, it's going to pay off. Hard work pays off every single time. Sometimes we look at people who's like, man, it just comes easy to them. They don't have to work for it. Well, for that one thing, that may be true, or that one circumstance, that may be true. But in general, day after day, hard work pays off. We just have to learn to work hard. No one likes hard work, but we all like to eat. We all like to make money. We need that in order to survive. So the ticket to that, hard work. Hard work pays off at school. Hard work pays off in sports. Hard work, just your day-to-day, putting in the time to do the hard work is going to get you that advancement in your job, and it's going to get you the money to pay the bills, to feed your family, and so on. Practical wisdom. But how many times do we ignore this, or we observe people in life ignoring this, and it doesn't go well for them, and they throw up their hands and say, why is God against me? Really? God's given you all the information to have a good life. We just got to live by it, right? So I love these practical things. Verse 10, don't cheat people. And he says this repeatedly all through the Proverbs. He says, God detests the uneven scales. So you're in the marketplace and somebody is wanting to buy some fruit from you or grain or something in the marketplace, and you have a scale. They give you some money, you put it on one side of the scale, you put some fruit on the other side of the scale, and it costs this much per whatever pound of fruit, and you sell them. But if you have a dishonest measure, a dishonest scale, so you're making the fruit way heavier than it really is to charge more, that's going to catch up to you. God detests that. And if you're going to cheat, you're going to cut corners and cheat people in your business dealings, it might work in the short term, but it's going to be found out, and all of a sudden nobody is going to do business with you because you're not known to be an honest person in your business dealing. We all want to go. This is why it's so great to find a great auto mechanic, right? When we get a great auto mechanic, we stick with that person because we know they're not going to open our hood and just find all these imaginary things wrong with our vehicle. Oh, you need to fix this, because they want more money from you. And that's just one example of life. There's so many. We trust people to do business with people who we know are just going to do us right. They're known to be honest. And so we need to be that honest person, and it's just going to go well for us, right? I love these. Verse 16, don't take unnecessary risks with your business dealings. So in verse 16, it actually says, if a person is willing to put up a pledge for a foreigner or a stranger, take it from him. So the idea is someone wants to do business with you and you don't know them, and they want to extend, they want you to extend a loan to them or something like, I don't know your character. If someone else is willing to put up security for them to take the risk, then yeah, do business with them because someone else is taking the risk. In other words, work with people you trust. And when you don't, it's okay to take a pledge or take a security on that loan. That's right. It's the equity in our house. Banks won't lend us money without equity, right? It's just wisdom. It's just the way. And the last one is that I wrote down was verse 19. Don't tell a babbler a secret. I love this. So you have some trusted information. You're not going to tell it to someone who's just a talker who gives out information to people without discernment. I'm not going to entrust those kind of people with sensitive information. And so on the flip side of that is, what kind of person do you want to be? You want to be a person who is trustworthy with information. So you're like, oh, I better guard my tongue. I better guard what I say and what kind of information I spill out to people. Oftentimes we give information that is of value to try to get value for ourselves. And if we're giving up sensitive information that, hey, somebody told me this, and don't tell anybody. I'm just going to tell you. We like to spill out that sensitive information that we know because we want to feel important. We want to feel valued. Well, we have to find our value in deeper things, in the Lord, and so on. And if we can hold on to those things that were told us in confidence, we are proving ourselves to be someone that can be trusted. And just as the proverb writer says, don't trust a babbler with secret information, we have to recognize that when we're a babbler, can we be trusted? And so we are careful with our tongue, careful with the things that we say, and people will put us in positions of higher responsibility and so on in life. So you see how these are just several examples. I love this chapter. There are the deep things of life that we have to move slowly. Trust the Lord to order our steps. And so when life gives us, difficulty and pain and loss, if we're walking with the Lord in that and we're trusting Him and we have this deep, profound relationship with God, we're abiding in His love, we can navigate that with wisdom. But it requires a lot of time and deep slow movement. That's the mysterious type of wisdom that takes years to develop. But then there's the low-hanging fruit wisdom that if you just apply it every day, it's going to buy you success all of your life. Both kinds of wisdom are important. One takes a long time. One is easy. It's to be applied today. And we teach it to children because children can understand it, and we repeat it over and over and over in life. We live it in life as examples, and it will just go well. This is the value of Proverbs, at least two kinds of Proverbs that this chapter brings out. So it's kind of fun to talk about on both sides of that same coin, and it's good to pass along to others, to live by, and especially our children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews. Give them the low-hanging fruit. It will go well for them. So be blessed today. Live by these simple truths. Be patient in the hard-fought wisdom that God is teaching you. It all is worth it in the end, and we will live a successful, skillful life as a result. Lord bless you. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.